Well, here we are. Kind of a dumb thing, but I'm kind of known for doing dumb things, huh? Sadie, don't knock the camera over. It's a nice snowy, blustery night, and I thought I'd come out and do a little Cremation of Sam Magee. You kids, maybe your grandkids will like it someday. It goes something like this. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. And the Arctic trails have their secret tales that'll make your blood run cold. And the northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge. I cremated Sam Magee. Well, Sam Magee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. And why he left his home in the south to roam about the poles, God only knows. He was always cold, but that land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell. And he'd often say in his homely way, he'd sooner live in hell. It was on a Christmas day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Why talk of your cold through the parka's folds? It stabbed like a driven nail. Our eyes if we'd close, and the lashes they froze, till sometimes we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam Magee. And that very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, the dogs were all fed and the stars overhead were dancing heel to toe. And he turned to me, and Cap, says he, I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking you, don't refuse my last request. Well, he seemed so cold that I couldn't say no. And he says with sort of a moan, 'tis a cursed cold and it's got right hold, till I'm chilled clean through to the bone. You know, it ain't being dead, it's the awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear, foul or fair, you'll cremate these last remains. Well, a pal's last need is the thing to heed, so I swore I wouldn't fail. And we started on at the streak of dawn, but God, he looked ghastly pale. He was crouched in the sleigh, and he raved all day about his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, the corpse was all that was left of Sam Magee. No, there wasn't a breath in that land of death, and I hurried on, horror-driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of the promise I had given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, you may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true. Now it's up to you to cremate these last remains. Well, a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. And as the days went on, though my lips were dumb, in my heart how I cursed that load. Long, long nights by the lone firelight, while the huskies round in a ring howled out their woes to the homeless snows. Oh God, how I loathed that thing. And every day, that quiet clay seemed heavy and heavier grow, but on I went though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad and it made me half mad, but I swore I wouldn't give in, and I'd often sing to that hateful thing, and it hearkened with a grin. Then I came to the marge on Lake LaBarge, and there a derelict lay. It was jammed in the ice, I saw it in a trice. It was called the Alice May. I looked at it and I thought a bit. I looked at my frozen chum, and here, shouted I with a cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire, and some coal that I'd found that was lying around helped fuel the heap higher. The flames just soared and the furnace roared, such a blaze you'll seldom see, and I burrowed a hole in the glowing coals and stuffed in old Sam Magee. Then I made for a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sizzle so, and the heavens scowled and the huskies howled, and the winds began to blow. It was icy cold, but hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why, and a greasy smoke and sort of an inky cloak streaked down the sky. And I don't know how long there in the snow I wrestled in grisly fear, but the stars came out and danced about, and here again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'll just peep inside, 'cause I guess he's cooked, and it's time I looked, and the door I opened wide. Well, there sat Sam, looking all cool and calm, in the heart of that furnace roar, and he wore a smile you could see for a mile, and he said, "Please close the door." He said, "It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and the storm, and since I left Plumtree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm." No, there are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold, and the Arctic trails have their secret tales that'll make your blood run cold. And the northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the Mars, Lake Labarge. I cremated Sam Magee. Whoa. And that's that.